Hey there riders, Moto Journo Kris here today. I wanted to quickly go over the panniers on the Yamaha Tracer 9 GT. These are the standard panniers, a really cool piece of kit. And I didn't actually realize this until I literally just had a look and thought I'd test it out. But you have it in the open, so just the open, not the unlocked thing. You press the button down and that releases the unlocking mechanism for the pannier itself. And as you can see here, my full face helmet with the GoPro attached fits in there. Now, I probably wouldn't ride with the helmet bouncing around in there, even though it's a fairly tight fit. However, as you'll see here, you can lock your helmet onto the bike, which is pretty cool. Now, with 2 bags, you'll get 2 helmets in, or 2 panniers, you'll get 2 helmets in. However, if it's just you on your own, you'll probably put your helmet in one side and your gear in the other, which is a really cool thing to see. So we close that back up, and I didn't really need to put any force into getting that to close. I really do like the design of these. The key is in basically the unlocking and the opening of the bag. We chuck it back into the locked position, which is where you want it to be in when you're riding, and then we go unlocked. Now the unlocked pops that handle up, and once that handle pops up, we can do that, and we can literally just lift that bag straight off the back of the bike. And as you can see here, there's an inbuilt mounting system that might be an optional extra that comes standard on the GT. It's a really elegant system. The 2 things go over the top and kind of hook in, and then a secondary locking piece comes in underneath and holds it in place. Now, obviously you're thinking, well, that's perhaps not the most secure. We've got this lower mounting point here. Now this moves around a fair bit, which was something I was interested to see when I was first putting the bags back on the bike, and I would say that is essentially just there because it just limits the movement of the bag when you're at speed or you're going over big bumps, to stop it from basically turning this way, which could possibly put too much stress on the locking mechanism. So that holds it in place, even though it's a very, very kind of simple thing. The only kind of slightly more complicated part is just lining everything up when you put it back on, because you do want that to be in place. And once you've done that, you push that down. Occasionally with the locking and unlocking, I did need to kind of just, push it down and it'll kind of click into place. That is locked in place now. And as you can see here, it actually can move a little bit on this, but obviously it can't move, you would hope, because Yamaha obviously designed these to last. It can't move enough to damage the locking mechanism or to break anything, because most of the locking mechanism on the bag side of things is plastic. And as I said, I really do like this, because we went away obviously on the overnight and just chucked clothes and wet weather gear in here, and it did the trick. Pull that helmet out, and there is a good amount of room in this bag. It is quite deep here. It's got this locking mechanism, which on this side, as you can see here, it's got like a clip which works perfectly. But basically, even though these bags do add quite a bit of width to the bike, because they're probably 30 centimeters deep from the mounting point, they really do hold quite a lot of stuff. And I guess one thing that you might ask as well, opening from the side does kind of give the potential for, depending on how you've loaded them, for everything to fall out. We put everything in plastic bags when we took the bike away because we weren't sure how waterproof these were. As it turns out, very, very waterproof. There were no issues there whatsoever. We didn't need to worry about that, so it was a bit of an unnecessary precaution. But if you put everything inside here in a bag, obviously it's not all just going to spill out. And if you do want to just kind of chuck everything in and pack it, say in a room, because you've taken this off the bike, which is very easy, you can do that. Just remember, don't open them out on the road where everything can spill out. It does have this little painted panel here, which obviously is likely to be an area which is going to cop a bit of a hiding when you're getting on and off the bike. And if anyone kind of brushes past the bike, that's going to be the bit which is most easily damaged, but hopefully that's replaceable for a small cost. Not always the case with these kind of bags, but overall I think this solution is really, really cool. Really good amount of storage within the pannier. Great to see that it holds a helmet. Great that you can fit quite a lot of stuff in here. I reckon you could probably go away for a week with these panniers. If you pack light, that wouldn't be an issue at all. I do normally carry a heap of camera gear, and I don't normally put stuff in panniers, but I'd be tempted to give it a try with these, perhaps in the camera bag, because that gives it a lot of padding. So anyway, really impressed with these panniers. If you're interested in them, essentially speaking, it uses the bike key, so nice elegant solution. As far as it fitting on and being removed from the bike, as easy as can be. There's really no chance that you could damage or break the mechanisms unless you do something really silly. The locking mechanisms seem to work really well with that key. You might need to just wiggle things around occasionally to get something to lock closed or whatever, but again, not much of a complaint there. The painted panel obviously is going to be the weak point as far as these wearing, but whatever. And while it does add a bit of width to the bike, it's probably not really any wider than the handlebars. They are quite wide handlebars, maybe a little bit wider than the handlebars, but the tank and the front fairing is quite wide at points too, so you kind of know where you're coming from with these panniers fitted. If you're doing really long distance touring, I could see adding the top box on the top, but I have noticed on some of the Yamaha pannier and top box things, they don't recommend running both, which might just be a weight limitation thing, so that is something to keep in mind. Anyway, that's it for now. Panniers on the Tracer 9 GT, really cool piece of kit if you ask me. Maybe not up everyone's alley, but I would be very happy to get these as standard panniers on this bike, and I would definitely think this is a big value add as far as buying the GT and getting them standard. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below as always. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there. You can support the channel on Patreon. I'll be back soon. See you next time.